All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue with our Quebec City Ace Nordiques. We're in year 3. We're at the trade deadline now, 35, 20, and 5. So we should have a trip back to the playoffs right around the corner here. In the Eastern Conference, I'll just show you the standings. We are first in our division, okay, but only 5 points separate us down from Tampa Bay. But the New York Rangers on the other side only have 68. So we do have some room up there. We just got to make sure that we keep on winning games, okay? Now, in the last video, I was really talking about that the GM mode or the goalie's game played glitch, right? Because it really is messing with some things. Now, I did a couple experiment GM modes where I just simulated through a whole season like 4 or 5 times, just trying to mix with the or mess with the settings, trying to make it a little bit better. And I think I found something that doesn't make it like completely realistic, but has a bunch of starting goalies with like 55 games played or more. Okay, I did it like 2 or 3 times in a row, and the goalies that I was looking for to be fixed was Rene, Price, and Crawford, and all 3 of them, and what's his name? The guy in San Jose. Niemi. Yeah, I can't even think right now. Niemi, and all 4 of those goaltenders were all fixed. They had more games played than the backup. Not much more, but they still had more. So I want to show you guys what you can do. It's not the automated goalie rotations, okay? I did some experiments with both of those, and it didn't matter. All that mattered was how many games played that my goalie had, right? You turn it off, you have 82 games played. You turn it on, you have like something like 40 to 60-something games played. But what I noticed was when I turned off, where was it? Hang on. When I turned on, it was this. When I turned on assistant coach edit lines, when I put that to yes, and I leave the assistant coach rotate goalies on as well, then I've noticed it's okay, right? The only thing about this is I need to make sure that I edit the lines, come back here, and put that option on every single time, basically. When my lines are already edited, it's not a problem, right? But say we're simulating through the season, I ask you guys what kind of changes we should make. Say I go to edit lines now, right? Say I want to, I don't know, for whatever reason, I want to switch Markstrom with Eddie Lack. Now when I back out, it's not going to tell me here. Or maybe it's a roster change, but it should. Oh, there it is. Because you have edited your lines, the assistant coach is now set to minimal. Okay, so every time I edit a line, I have to go back and what's it called? Change it. So hang on, Eddie Lack back in the net. All right. So say I've just edited my lines now. Now I have to go back to customize setting. And go down here and the assistant coach edit lines to turn it back on. All right. He will not affect my lineups right now. Oh, hang on. No, it's not that one. There you go. Yes. He will not affect my lineups right now. He only affects it if you have injuries or you make a trade. He'll automatically, make the roster changes. But if your team is already set to go under the cap space, every line is filled up. If you turn that switch on, your team will not be changed unless something forces your team to be changed. But because we have no injuries on, nothing will come up, okay? But I've noticed when I turn that option on, I don't know, maybe it affects the computer teams as well. They start their goalie more. I don't know. Now, for this year, we're not going to be able to tell as much because we're already we're three quarters done the season, basically. So we'll check it for next year. But if you guys have the time, try that out yourself and do an experiment and let me know how you guys how it worked for you guys. I've noticed I saw like a good 10, 12, 15 goalies with more than 50, 55 games played. Okay, so I really liked it. So we're gonna try going forward like this. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, trade deadline. Now, we got a pretty good record here. I didn't want to make any trades this year. Some people are still saying get a better third liner instead of Bickle, move him down to the 4th line. I like our offensive core right now. The only thing I don't like is our second line. I know it's been playing pretty good, but it looks weak to me. We don't really have that goal scorer in there. Shore is nice as the two-way forward, but Shore and Kopecky are kind of like the same player now, right? So, if they give us depth goal scoring, that's good, but, how much is Shore up at this year for points? Let's see. 39 points in 60 games. Shore's doing good, but they're minus players. I don't know. Maybe it's just personal preference. But when I look at that second line, it doesn't look threatening to me. Defensively, I would like to get a better top 2, but what are you going to do? And then goaltender. So you know what? For this year, I'm going to run with it again, okay? Because we have rookies coming up next year like Ekblad. We have Barkov, who we're still waiting on, so I don't know, making a trade for a second liner that would kind of nullify a lot of our prospects, and I would have to trade away one of our prospects to get one of them. So you know what? For this year, we're going to try it once more. We're not going to change anything to the team. We're going to go into the playoffs. If we get another first-round exit again, then we may have to make some big changes in the offseason. But I don't want to make any crazy trades right now, and I like the depth for our team, okay? So we're just going to go through the trade deadline. We're not going to make any trades at all. I don't want to have anything. I like our record. I'm not going to be trying to move up in the draft. It doesn't seem like the Quebec City Ace Nordiques are a rebuilding team anymore. We had that 1-year rebuild, and then all of a sudden we're a really good regular season team, and now we're just working on becoming that good playoff team, okay? So we should see. And I was also reading your comments. There's a good comment in there. I forget exactly what it said, but it was something like, when we started the season and we had the rotate goalies, what was it, on, we had a really good record. Then when I switched them off, we went like 16-16, and then when I turned them back on, we went like 9-2-0 or something like that. That's interesting, but that could just be coincidence as well, because again, I did like 4 or 5 experiments where I did 2 season simulations with goalie rotate off, it looked the same. Then 2 season simulations with the goalie rotate on, it looked the same, right? Then I tried the one with the edit lines on for rotate off and rotate on, and they were both up. So I'll make a video. I'll make a video. It's a lot easier to understand with a video in front of you. So it doesn't really matter for scouting right now, but we can just check out what these other, oh man, yeah, there is a few in the Scandinavia. So I'll send them back out there again, 6 weeks. Okay, and let's get this regular season done in this video. I want to get this done. Won't be a long video. Well, you know what? It may be. Who knows? I'll try to stretch it. But we're going to do a season wrap-up. We'll check out all the individual stats, the progress reports, all that good stuff. And then we will set up the playoffs for the next day. But let's actually see the stop simulation. I haven't been keeping track of the games since we made that change. So since the we're here. So 1-1, 2-2, and 3. We're 3-4 since I made that change. So I don't know. Could be a coincidence. It seems like we're going back to losing. But that's the thing, right? I didn't change a goalie rotate goalies. I mean, you can leave that on. That was the good news about this. It was the assistant coach edit lines. I left goalie rotations on, and it worked for every other team as well. So I mean, if I can hit that, that's even better than I was expecting, because I don't mind having the assistant coach edit lines on. It's not that bad when I make line changes, just quickly go in there, right? If I had injuries on, I'd hate it. If I had waivers on, I'd hate it. But this is doable. If a patch doesn't come, it's at least doable. So here we go. Yeah. Get to I'd like a 100-point season, but I don't know if that's possible anymore. Like, mathematically, it's still possible. But, yeah, 25 regulation losses. I don't think it's going to happen. But still, pretty good regular season. Just get to 45 wins. Oh, my God, we're losing games. It's the wrong time to start losing games. Jonathan Huberdeau with 50 assists. But, you know what the problem is this year? Look at our plus-minus. Our top plus player is only +7. We might be allowing a few too many goals this year. Yep. Jordan Eberle, earlier on in the season, I thought he might be a 40-goal scorer. If he could just get a 30-goal season now, that'd be good enough for me. Rangers, 35-35. There you go. There's 2 wins. Yeah, we're a playoff team. Not a President's Trophy winning team, though, unless the whole other NHL doesn't do good. There's another loss. That's all right. Yeah, see, the Montreal Canadiens, Peters, 21 wins for Peters. Price is not even why even pay a goalie? How much is Price making? 6.5? Why even pay a goalie that much if you're not going to play him? I mean, I've heard the argument as well that, hey, you got to play the hot goalie. You know, maybe the coaches are just going with the goalie that's got the better stats. I kind of disagree with that, though. I mean, goalie's a special position. If you give a goalie 4, 5, 6, 7 years at like $4 or $5 million a year, you got to play him. You can't just sit him on the bench, or you get another Roberto Luongo situation where you got a ridiculous contract, and because it's too long, and I guess he hasn't been considered a starting goalie, no one wants to trade for him, right? You got to play that goalie, because if you don't want him anymore, you got to at least keep his value up to the rest of the league. I mean, Price on the Montreal Canadiens, if this was real life, Price would look so invaluable right now, because it's like every other team would be like, oh, well, he's losing games, they're not playing him, he's got like 5 years left on his deal, $6 million a year, no, screw that, it's too much, whereas that's not how it is. I mean, the Montreal Canadiens will be playing him every game. And look at this. What a horrible end to the season. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1-5 to end the season, so not the greatest, but we should still be a playoff team here. Yeah, so second in Division C, but okay, there's no way in hell we would have won that President's Trophy. The LA Kings, 118 points. But we definitely lost second place, and we lost first place in the East in that last 6 games, basically. So that kind of sucks, but if it's because they're starting their real goalies, that's good news, okay? So let's simulate ahead here, and let's just see who we have in the first round of the playoffs. And we have the Tampa Bay Lightning. Okay, so last year we had Alexander Ovechkin. This year, Steven Stamkos. Man, the damn Eastern Conference. Stud players in the Eastern Conference. Okay, so let us check out everything here. Stat Central, team standings, all this good stuff, okay? So point-wise, we were the 6th best team in the NHL this year. Pretty good for the Quebec City Ace Nordiques. Goals for per game, 4th in the NHL, 2.76. That is very good. Goals against per game, 2.68. That could be a lot better. We definitely allowed way too many goals this year. But I think that's our weak defensive core. Okay, we don't have top 2 defensemen, and what was it called? Martinez in there. If we had Campbell, that was a big loss. I know he's an offensive defenseman, but I still think he helps out defensively. Power play percentage, 8th in the NHL, so that's pretty good. Penalty kill percentage, that's good for me, 11th in the NHL, hovering around 85%. I'm happy with that. Our home record, 26-12-3. Our away record, 19-17-5. So we were great at home. On the road, though, not so much. That's interesting, actually. I wonder if that's just coincidence or if actually something happens. Player stats for the season. We'll check this out. So remember, this year doesn't count for the experiment. Next year, year number 4 will be our true test with this new system for goalie games played, okay? But for this year, just don't worry about it for right now. So forwards, Jonathan Huberdeau, point a game player. That's a very good season. And you know what? He was basically a 30-goal scorer as well. I mean, last year, only 19 goals. Same amount of assists this year, but he got another 10. So this guy, he's legit one of the best players in the NHL right now. He will be for next year, for sure. Eberle, he definitely trailed off there. Only a 58-point season. That is not good enough for Jordan Eberle, but he's still 25. Next year, he'll get his bump. He started off good. I'm thinking that it's just Fleischmann. Fleischmann had 57 points as well. That's a great season for Fleischmann. It's a great season for Eberle. But I think if we get a better first liner to play alongside Eberle and Huberdeau, that will be improved for all those guys, okay? So Fleischmann might have just played his last year. But still, it's a really good season. I mean, they're all basically 30-goal scorers, so that's a good first line. Now, sure, he did what I expected of a second liner. 50 points, 20 goals, okay? Great season for sure. But this is what I'm talking about. Kopecky, he had 50 points. It's good. No, I won't take anything away from Kopecky. And you know what? They're there. They're there. All right, I won't take anything away from them. They're there, all right? And they're plus players. All right, you know what? I'll take it back. Sure, Kopecky and Mueller had a really good second-line season for us. Peverly, Clifford, and Matthias. All right, Bickle, Hansen, and Pruss. There you go. And all these guys, our third and fourth line are all minus players now. Okay, and defensively, let's see this now. Points. Look at that, Kulikov. He pretty much replaced Campbell, man. This guy had a pretty good offensive season. 45 points. Myers, 43. So that's really good because these guys were on our top 2. Hopefully they get a bump for next year. That's pretty good. And then goaltenders. Eddie Laddy-Lack, 63 games played. Markstrom, 20 games played this year, and he had a winning record. Not the greatest, but still a winning record. That's good enough for me. 92.06. So Lack came back down to earth after that amazing start. He definitely came back down to earth a little bit. You know what? There's been, hang on a second. Let me blow my nose. All right. Oh, I didn't actually want to exit this because we can go through the goalies game played. Now remember, oh yeah, I already said this. It's just the experiment, okay? This season doesn't count. We did a whole chunk of the season without the new way that I was trying, but we'll just check it out. So, entire NHL, let's see. Jeremy Smith. Now, he's 84 overall, so he could be Edmonton's new goalie, so it's not a problem there. McCollum, though. I mean, the third most games played in the NHL for goalies is a 77 overall backup for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Fast, yeah, I think he might be better than Hiller at this point. Anderson, 66 overall. Yeah, it's screwed up for this year still, okay? I'm not going to go through every team here. You guys know. I mean, Budai, yeah, that's... I mean, no, what am I talking about? It's Pavlik. Yeah, Pavlik got screwed. That's only works. You guys are right. The teams with the two starting goalies or two backup goalies, that's why those teams do really good, i.e. Washington, Toronto, teams like that. Luongo had more starts. Toronto, yeah, see what I mean? 44 games played each with two 86 and an 85 overall goalie. That's why Toronto's a great team in this. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Same thing with St. Louis, maybe. Oh no, they should have started Halak more. You know what? I'm not going through all these. We know. I'm not going through all these. We know. Okay. Hopefully, it's fixed for the playoffs. You know what? Yeah. I keep exiting this. I gotta stay in here. It's the new setup that I'm doing. I want to show you guys the goals and assists as well for the forwards and the defenders. The other screen, from the main screen, that doesn't show you everybody. I like to do it from here. So here you go. NHL forwards, the top goal scorer for this year. Only 37 goals was the top goal scorer for this year. Jesus. With all the backups playing as well, you'd think the players would have open season out there. Gabrick, 37, all right. Assists, Zach Parise, Jesus, 70 assists. The Nuge, 57. Huberdeau, 57. That's good. And point per game players, Zach Parise, Steven Stamkos, Claude Giroux, Jonathan Huberdeau, and John Tavares, okay? So, not too shabby. You go to defenders. Let's see, points. Yeah, where's Kulikov? He should be up there somewhere. There he is. Not too bad. He's tied for like 7th or something like that. Drew Doughty, your number 1, and the most goals, Dan Hamhuis, okay? And, yeah, we don't need to check out anything else. So there you go. That's that taken care of. What else do we have to do? Yeah, the progress reports. Let's see if anyone going into the playoffs is on fire, on a cold streak, anything like that. So Clifford has gone down by 2 because he's getting 3rd or 4th line time. But what do you expect? All right, it'll make an easier cap for us to sign in the offseason. Yannick Hansen, he's dropped. Frazier, he's dropped. Kulikov's gone up to 85. Prust has dropped to 79. Eberle looks like he's gone up, okay, by 5. Hasn't increased his overall, but yeah, he's gone up. Bickle's gone down. Myers has gone up. Matthias has gone down. I've noticed a lot of 3rd and 4th liners will always go down just because these guys, they should be on the 2nd line, I guess, Sean Matthias, guys who are 83 and above. But what are you going to do? Only room for so much. Okay, there you go, and we'll check out the AHL roster. Yurko went up by 4, looks like. Doesn't look like Barkov went up. No, Barkov, he stayed at 0. God damn it, man. That sucks for Barkov. So we'll check out the AHL team as well. They are 43, 20, and 9. So Anthony Mantha, 27 goals. That's great. So they're going to get another playoff run, maybe the 3rd year in a row for the Calder Cup. You know what? We got time. Yeah, we'll check out the stats for the AHL. Here, hang on. Player stats for the season, the AHL team. Let's see what they're doing down there. Barkov is the one, man. I want him to become a really good player. He fits in perfectly on that 2nd line with Shore. And then we got to find somebody else, maybe, Mantha, but Mantha looks like he might be a 1st liner. Power forward along with that sniper and playmaker. But, yeah, Mantha, 63 points. Hart to Kane, and he's looking like he's going to get a bump for next year with this really good season. Yurko, 46 points. Barkov, only 43. But it is still a solid 43 points. And he's a +3 player. So, he's getting those points. Hopefully he jumps. But, I don't know. I might be crazy for saying this, boys, but Barkov might be a trading asset, man. Just because we're a team that should be winning right now, and if he doesn't jump up to mid-70s for next year, he's going to be a player who doesn't get better till he's 25 years old, which means waiting 4 years, right? Do we want to wait for 4 years while Huberdeau and Eberle are tearing it up, Those two guys are our future. I know Alexander Barkov, boys, if I was editing the rosters, he'd be a mid-70s, 4.5-star player on release, but you know what? I'm not the creator, so I'm just the GM, and this guy's not fitting in on our short-term plans. Long-term, maybe, but we're a short-term team right now. We should be thinking about the next 3 years, okay? So, I don't know. We're not going to get into that. That's off-season talk right now. We got to worry about the Tampa Bay Lightning. So if you guys have any suggestions about our line changes, let me know. I think I want to leave everything the way it is right now with Eddie Lack getting the start. Okay, but after that, maybe we shouldn't wait so long like we did last year to make some line changes. So maybe you guys can let me know if we need to, after 2 losses or after 1 loss, make a change up to the 1st or 2nd line. Penalty kill, power play, goaltender. You guys let me know, and I will see you in the next video when the Quebec City Ace Nordiques take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Year 3 playoffs.